In this video, we will be looking at the distinction between legality and morality. We hope that by the end of this video, you will see that a person should not define morality on the basis of the law alone, rather that each person must decide for themselves what it means to carry out a moral act. We can start by looking at the difference between law and morals. Laws are rules that govern human activity. They are imposed by institutions and authorities. In our society, the law is maintained through violence by law enforcement officials and by way of punishment such as jailing. The law is developed by groups of individuals such as judges and legislators, and these laws may change over time and by location based on their interests. Alternatively, each person develops their own sense of morals. These choices reflect each person's sense of right and wrong and do not necessarily reflect the interests of the state. In our society, authorities generally claim that the purpose of the law is to approximate morality. However, the two are not the same. Sometimes immoral acts are considered legal. Prominent examples include the slavery of the African American people, prohibiting women to vote, and prohibiting gay or lesbian marriage. Alternatively, moral acts can be deemed illegal. For example, it was illegal for people to hide escaped African American slaves. In addition, immigration is not sanctioned by the state are illegal acts. We see no reason why the government should be able to limit another individual's freedom of movement. To further demonstrate the distinction between legality and morality, we can draw a diagram in which the two constructs stand perpendicular to one another. This red line represents morality with moral acts on the top and immoral acts below. Alternatively, this pink line represents legality with illegal acts to the right and legal to the left. We will start by looking at the act of human killing either a human or a non-human animal. The top left quadrant represents legal and moral acts. In this quadrant, we would include acts in which a person kills a human or a non-human animal in self-defense. It is both legal and moral to do so. The top right quadrant represents illegal acts that we consider moral. This would include acts such as assisted suicide when an individual is terminally ill and in pain. Though this is legal in some countries, it is illegal in Canada. In addition, there are cases in which people kill out of self-defense, but the act is deemed illegal by judge or jury. For example, a woman may kill her abusive partner out of self-defense, but if she cannot prove it, may be convicted of murder nonetheless. The bottom left quadrant represents legal acts we consider immoral. This would include government-sanctioned killing of human beings in war or the killing of protesters by police. While some soldiers and officers killed in genuine self-defense, we believe that the times in which they do are far outweighed by the times in which the act is not morally justified. This quadrant also includes killing animals for food or clothing, or killing animals that are no longer wanted by the food, research, fashion, entertainment, or pet industries. In addition, pet owners can have their animals killed even if they are not terminally ill or in severe pain. Moreover, pest animals can be killed so long as they are not tortured to death. All these acts are legal, but we consider them immoral. The bottom right quadrant represents illegal and immoral acts. This would include any non-government sanctioned killing of a human for any reason besides self-defense. Alternatively, though most acts of killing an animal is illegal, a person cannot through torture. For instance, burning an animal to death is both illegal and immoral. However, it should be noted that the methods used to legally kill animals are certainly not free of physical or emotional pain. We can also use this framework to look at different forms of activism. In the top left quadrant, we include actions such as vegan outreach or other forms of legal education, such as lectures and workshops on animal cruelty and the animal liberation movement. We say legal education because some forms of education have been criminalized by the U.S. state. This quadrant would also include actions such as lobbying governments or petitioning governments or industries to change their behavior. In the top right quadrant, we include actions such as physically stopping animal transportation trucks, blocking access to a store that exploits animals, and liberating animals from places of abuse. Inflicting property damage on animal exploitation industries is also included in this quadrant. Here we also include education that is considered criminal. For example, the Shack 7 were convicted for maintaining a web page that discussed and supported illegal actions taken on behalf of animals. The bottom left quadrant would include purposefully using misleading information to support a cause. However, we could not think of one instance in which this immoral act has been used on behalf of the animal liberation movement. In the bottom right quadrant, we would include actions in which physical harm was used to cause needless suffering. But again, we could think of no instance in which this had been the case. We hope it is now clear to you that illegal actions may be moral. This is becoming increasingly true as governments enact strict legislation to impede the animal liberation movement. For example, the United States government recently implemented the Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act, which includes animal liberation acts that are considered eco-terrorism. Such legislation is meant to repress the animal liberation movement in order to protect the corporate profits of animal exploitation industries. This should make you question whether in today's society the law is meant to approximate morality, or whether it supports the interests of corporate and political elites. We hope that this video has helped clarify the difference between morality and legality, and helped you determine acts that you consider to be moral and immoral. We have included a list of resources for further reading. To finish, we encourage you to act by your morals, not the law. The animals need you to.